How's it going, everyone? As you can tell from the title of today's video, we're finally going to be setting up and kind of organizing the garage in my new house. In previous videos, you might remember I've kind of alluded at the fact that I want to have people send out license plates from all over the world that I can put up on a wall. That is currently on hold. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and if you guys are interested in having your plate on my wall, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. But just the logistics of all that, it's going to take a while to get them all in and then figure out how to set them up on the wall. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing that in today's video. But what I am going to be doing today, if I could speak, is sort through just this massive mess of parts and tools and everything that I've set up today. Now, I haven't gotten all the parts from my parents' house yet, all the spare Saab parts that I have, so I'm not going to be doing that, but I really want to show you guys kind of like what I've bought tool-wise so far, and then just kind of organize it. So I have this main workbench right here, and everything that you see right here is mine. This is all of my roommate's tools. Some of this is mine, like for instance, I have a jack that I bought under there that I want to set up in today's video. I have a second workbench sitting right here. It does not have a top for it, so I'm going to at least set that up and figure out where I want it today. And I have two storage shelves from Amazon. One thing I noticed from doing my first repair video in this garage when I did the expansion tank on this car was that the lighting in here is not the best. So we have one light bar right here, and we have the light from the garage itself, which isn't really usually on. I think this button will turn it on. Yeah, right there. So that doesn't really make much of a difference. So one of my buddies is actually an electrician. He hit me up, said that he could help me with setting up more lights. So I'm thinking about doing like one more thing of lights there and probably one more right there, and that'll be plenty of light for the garage. But for now, this is enough to see. It's not ideal for videos, but I'm going to try and address that soon. I'm trying not to do everything all at once. I'm buying tools in like pieces, because buying everything I need at once is financial suicide. Those of you who have bought tools in the past know they are very expensive. So what I have here is certainly not everything I need. It's just enough to get me started, and I've already bought a handful of things I've noticed I've needed over the time. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is one of the more recent things I bought. Nothing special, just an oil container. I was going to like smugly pull the sticker off on camera, but it looks like this section right here is not going to want to come off. Oh, maybe. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to clean up the rest of that later, but this is just a catch can for oil for when you do oil changes. So you guys will see that, I guess, in future videos if I ever do oil changes. This right here is my lovely trash can I bought. Here we have my generic Craftsman tool set. I've had this forever. This is just what I'm going to be living off of mainly for repairs for a while. Again, it doesn't have everything that I need, but in here you'll see it has a bunch of long sockets. Oh, there's a random socket in here. Shows how long it's been since I've emptied that. What is this? A 10 mil? I just found a 10 mil on camera. So a lot of you probably know the feeling, but look at that. I think I bought a replacement for this socket a while ago, but look, 10 millimeter right there. Wow. Okay, so I now have a spare 10 millimeter. That's pretty awesome, which I'm sure I will need because I'll probably lose this. The big thing that you'll notice is missing from my tools as we go through here is a place to put everything. So tool chests, especially nice ones, are extremely expensive. So that's another thing I'm going to be holding off on. Probably will get down the road. So for now, I just kind of have all my tools sorted out. I have a couple of like things like this, which I'll show you guys in a minute, which I bought just so I can kind of keep everything organized for now. So everything's not going to be super organized for the time being, but a lot of this stuff is from Harbor Freight, and a lot of the stuff that is from Harbor Freight is cheaper things. Like for example, I got these plastic pry tools, which I always seem to be using. That's from Harbor Freight. I picked up these little picks, which were literally $1.79. Highly recommend these. My dad has a set. I've used them way more than $1.79's worth of time. I picked up a couple of these magnetic trays that you can just use when you put sockets on or screws and stuff and work on the car. So I picked up a couple of those. Speaking of magnets, I also picked up a magnet. If you do not have one of these, I'd highly recommend it. One of the best things that you can spend about $10 on for when you drop bolts or things like that. Makes it way easier to find them and get them. And lastly, in here I just have a utility knife, just, you know, another little thing to have. And this is a little tool bag, which once I open all this up, I'll put a lot of this stuff kind of in this tool bag just to keep it organized for now, or in these pockets. Moving on from that though, I have some more screwdrivers and things. Like I bought a huge flathead because you never know when you're gonna need a big flathead, which actually barely fits in there. We've got a normal size flathead I bought. These are a set of Torx screwdrivers. All of this stuff is not from Harbor Freight. Like my actual tools are, none of them are from Harbor Freight. The things from Harbor Freight are things like this, like magnets, pry tools, things that are dispensable that I'm not going to necessarily need to rely on a ton. Speaking of that, I've also got a set of pliers. This I did buy at Harbor Freight. I'm not too worried about these. So it's just a little bit of everything, hose clamp, pliers, and an adjustable set like this. Now this is what I'm most excited about. I haven't even opened this up. I've been purposely waiting to open it up until today's video came around. And so we're gonna open this up today, but this is a impact driver. Let's see what's in here. Ah, it's falling out of the bag. So I wanted to get a smaller one, so that way it's not really necessarily the weight to hold it, but the ease of being able to put it in the tighter spaces as opposed to something that's this long and trying to fit it in somewhere. We're gonna use the utility knife here because why not? Time to break out the new tools at some point. Like butter, cut right through it. I'm gonna have to read through the owner's manual, but I'm guessing this is different settings. Not something I've messed with yet, obviously, because I literally just unboxed this. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I'm so excited to use this in future videos. I have a spray bottle. And to go with that spray bottle, I have some Simple Green. I always dilute this. My dad gave me that idea, diluting Simple Green, because it's very strong. Usually don't need it at full strength. So I need to put some Simple Green in there. If you've never used this to clean your hands when you're done working on cars, highly recommend it. Works magic. We've got a couple funnels here. Sitting behind all of this, for now, I just have this little storage thing. So I'm gonna use this to put like this was for the TV stand. I bought just some random extra stuff. Some random extra hardware from, I think, the TV stand as well. Just little things that I have extra of, like my spare coolant cap in case I ever need one of those. I've got my gloves on top. Then coming down here, I have a bunch of extra oil. So that's interesting, I guess. I have that Canon air filter cleaner that I used in my last video. I have my laptop for my Tech 2. I have my Tech 2. I have my map tuner. And this is just a box that I used to carry in the back of my cars. It just has a bunch of detailing stuff and things like that. So I purposely wanted to buy a low profile jack because I hate having to constantly drive my car up on 2x10s before I can actually get the jack under it. So this says at its lowest point it's 3 1/8 inch. And I definitely have more clearance than that. So once we get together, we'll test. But hopefully this means no more driving my car up on the ramps before I can actually jack it up. All right, cool. Start getting this stuff out of here. Come on, styrofoam. So I just realized that I need to buy some hydraulic oil and fluid, and there's a procedure to actually set this thing up. I don't have any of that. So yeah, I think setting up the actual jack is gonna have to wait a couple days at least until I can get some oil or some fluid for it, whatever it's technically called. Let's see if it clears. Oh yeah. It's under the Turbo X, which is by a good amount too, which is lower than the Arc is. So cool. No more driving on 2x10s. Over in this corner, I'm not sure what to really do with these closet doors. These are the closet doors for the 2 spare bedrooms in this house. And the tracks got removed when they remodeled the home. So so these closet doors currently don't have a home. They're just gonna stay there, but I did have a bunch of paint and random stuff over here that I moved back to this corner just so it's a little bit out of the way. And it looks like I'll have room for a couple more storage shelves here of the same size, so that would be perfect if so. Like a captive, I'm on to you. Used to pay to my life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I was like this in ages. This second shelf right here fits in perfectly. I'm super happy with that. So in the future I have room for a third shelf if I want. And then I also have room for my wheels, my Turbo X wheels right here. So I've got literally a whole car full of some of my parts. The Turbo X wheels is what's taking up most of the space, but we're gonna unpack all that now, start getting it on the shelves, and go from there. So Turbo X wheels this way fit perfectly in here. You can see it's right up against this, and it's pretty much right up against my mop bucket. Couldn't find the word for that. Only problem I see with this being is, so I just backed into my mirror, they stick out much further than the shelves. The shelves are 12 inches wide. They're probably about 2 or 3 inches from here, so they probably stick out another 8 or 10 inches from here. You can see I've got room. However, I might end up maybe moving these to that corner when I figure out what I want to do with the garage or the closet doors. This is what I got in my first run. I still have boxes upon boxes, like enough to fill up these shelves of spare parts. A lot of them are like stock parts for this car, like all the stock charge pipes, stock air intake. I have some stock parts for that car as well. So there's no need to really film me unboxing all of that. I'll probably just do that, you know, off camera later when I actually do end up getting it. But I want to show you guys what I have so far. First off is my Turbo X picture. This is my favorite photo I've ever taken of this car. And I had it hung up in my room before, but I think it's a perfect photo for the garage somewhere, not exactly sure where. Next I have a spare Ecotech engine cover and a spare V6 cover. So I'm thinking I can hang these both up somewhere as well. Then over here I just have like my Young Enthusiast Award that I won at SOC. I have my second place Turbo X Award I won at SOC. And I've just got a photo of SOC 2019 when I was in Colorado. These are just some ceramic wipes. I've used these in past videos. This is some cleaning stuff that I'll have to unbox, but with other cleaning stuff. This is some car detailing stuff. I actually got a sponsorship from this in a previous video. You guys might remember. There's a bunch of cool cleaning products in there. This is a garbage, like wireless Bluetooth reverse camera that goes on as a license plate frame. Probably gonna sell this on OfferUp for like 20 bucks. And here are all of my spare coil packs that I've accumulated over the years from junkyards, things like that. A lot of these are bad or possibly bad, so don't be envious of these, and no, I'm not gonna sell you any. But yeah, so that'll probably just stay in that box. In this banana box here, I've got some license plate that I already had, like that's from my Miata. This is from my great uncle in Pennsylvania. These are just a couple motorcycle ones that my dad had. This is off my dad's new Gen 900 that he used to have. If you've watched the channel for a long time, you might remember that car. In here I've got a spare turbo, a dash cam box. I've got some like extensions and ratcheting wrenches down there. A couple stock like parts, but really not much in here that's flashy or worth showing. So I think that just about does it for this video. I filmed a lot and it's been over 2 or 3 days, so I do want to do a quick wrap up. Hopefully you guys enjoy this longer video format, but in regards to the jack, I actually did end up getting some hydraulic or gear oil, whatever the technical name is for it, from my dad. He had a bunch of spares or extras, so I'm going to use that when I set up the jack off camera. For now I'm just going to be putting these engine covers here because they're probably going to go on the wall, and well, I mean, this is not functioning as a workbench. I think the banana box method is going to work very well because they fit on these shelves perfectly. So I have that banana box here, the coils here, all my cleaning and detailing stuff right here. I actually might move that detailing box right here so it's all together. I've got a lot more to get from my parents, so they'll probably fill up at least half of this. And the Turbo X wheels are over there. All my pictures and stuff I moved inside. A few extra tools that were in here, like needle nose pliers, tire pressure monitor, the ratcheting wrenches, all the extensions and swivel sockets, things like that are in there. And yeah, I think that just about does it for this video. So if you guys enjoyed, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I know it was pretty long. If you guys do want a part 2 when I hang up all the plates and pictures and things like that, Let me know down below in the comments. If you're already a subscriber, thank you. If you haven't subscribed and you're still with me, well, awesome. Please hit the subscribe button. I'll see y'all next time.